Hey there, everyone. I wanted to put together a little recording here of my reflections on yesterday's bioregional mapping practice, where we invited the Cowichan Valley into the center for us to collaborate together on helping to see itself through this mapping practice. And as the term practice indicates, we definitely were practicing yesterday, and it was revealed that there are all sorts of different things that we are coming together to map. Yesterday we had a bit of a challenging and important conversation, and I want to not release the recording from yesterday to allow that to remain a safe and intimate space when it needs to be. But to give you a little bit more context, it all started when I shared an analogy of our mapping practice being like the process of bringing a bioregional dialogue to life and nurturing its maturation. And this brought in the fact that in many places there are indigenous peoples who already have a bioregional dialogue that has all too often been intentionally marginalized. And if we don't recognize this, our mapping practice can perpetuate patterns of colonization. This really presented a great opportunity for us to explore this topic, this very important topic, and also for me to be more impeccable with my speech. And as I'm exploring a model for the bioregional mapping practices that lead to landscape partnerships, that is the intent here. Birthing a bioregional dialogue is central to all of that. That's the core identity and inspiration from which the process can grow, from which we can give voice to the landscape, to all of our landscapes. And what I failed to make clear thus far is that we aren't necessarily birthing the bioregional dialogue, simply a bioregional dialogue that can begin to weave together whoever wants to explore together. This is meant to be a playful space where we're exploring possibilities, seeing what's already present, and weaving new bioregional relationships, or discovering ways to come into relationship with what already exists. Yesterday's conversation highlighted something that we have to hold space for. All over the world, there are ugly colonial histories and multi-generational traumas. How can we create spaces for those kinds of conversations to happen with the deep respect and reverence that they require? This weaving of people from different backgrounds with different cultural histories is going to look different in different places. And in some, it might take an awful lot of trust building and careful formation of just how a landscape partnership can be formed, and the languaging and framing around how that happens. And just as importantly, I want to point out that while trust building takes time, time's not exactly on our side. So, how do we simultaneously hold space for all of these really important topics that require a lot of care, consideration, and empathy, but also hold space for action, inspiration, and adaptation? Reflecting on yesterday's challenging conversation, these are the questions that I'm holding now as we move forward. And to those of you who were in attendance yesterday, thank you for coming by. Thanks for holding the space together. And I learned a lot, and I felt a strong dose of humility. That's why my hat is in my hand. And I'm grateful for all of that, for all of you, and looking forward to seeing where this goes next.